Do we have a motion to adopt the agenda? Have a motion for Bill Gillen, Commissioner Gillen, to adopt the agenda. Do I have a second?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to, you need a second before I make suggestions for the agenda?
Please.
You want a second first?
Yes,
Then I'll
ma'am.
second it.
Okay, a
And then-
second from Mary Standard.
And what I'd like to do is I'd like to make an addition to the February 8th annual board retreat minutes. So I'd like to have that pulled. And I'd like to make a correction to the March 10th town council meeting, so I'd like that to.
Okay.
Just
Just wants to make a correction to the February 8th annual board retreat minutes and the March 10th town council meeting minutes. So we'll pull those. You got that, Ron? Okay.
Mr. Mayor, we'll also request that you pull the closed session at the end of the meeting. Reschedule for next month.
Okay. All right. Did y'all hear that? Okay. Is that agreeable?
I don't know if they've heard.
We're gonna, there will not be a closed session this evening at the end of the meeting. We'll do that next month. All right, is that agreeable to everyone?
Yeah, I wanted to add something onto the agenda.
You want to add someone to the agenda? Who you want to add?
I don't want to add somebody.
Oh, okay. What do you want to add?
Well, having missed last week, I was disappointed that the HB2 item was removed from the agenda, and I wanted to put that back on. I wanted to move that we put that back on.
Have a motion to add HB2 back to the agenda.
Mhm.
I'll second it.
Have a second from Mary Standard. Discussion.
My reasons for doing that is I know that the MRA has come out with a statement, I believe it was on March 25th, immediately after the bill was signed into law. I think it's extremely important that right now the MRA and the towns stand united on this issue. And I would like to see us pass the motion that was in the agenda packet from last week. Many of you may not be aware that the LGBT community is not covered under the civil rights laws. I think all we can do to help get that to happen is extremely important in this day and age. I think many of us in this room are affected by either family members or good friends who have children or who happen to be members of the LGBT community. And I think if we stand united in this, we need to do so now.
Other discussion?
I'm not educated enough on the actual bill to actually be able to vote on it. And so that's why I wanted it sort of postponed and put off and not considered now. I think we had bigger fish to fry anyway. I think that was what Ken's point was. So that was my reasoning for not pushing it forward at this point.
Other discussion? Other commissioners?
I did speak up last week, and I've watched the news this week. I've seen, again, all Fort Mary and different communities have addressed this, and basically what I've seen is more division within those communities at this particular moment. I still look at it, and it is the law at this particular moment, and I don't see us vetting every law that comes out of the state right now. So I just do not see us needing to address this at this particular time.
As far as it being a law, I think, and enforced, I think it's important to point out that at one point slavery was law of land and was a law that there were no votes for women, there were no votes for blacks. There was also prohibition, and all of those were overturned by concerned citizens.
Kitty?
As I stated last week, it's not my being for or against the law. I think Janie made a nice statement and stated it very eloquently. My problem is that we have so much conflict right now in Montreat that we don't need to add this division. And I just think it's going to change anyway. I see things, it'll probably change before it all settles down. And when it settles down, then we can deal with it. But right now, we've got enough chaos to deal with, especially when the bathroom thing was added. We have 2 bathrooms, and well, I just hate to see us get in a fight over them.
More other discussion? Hearing none. Motion a second. We've had discussion. All those in favor of adding it, say aye.
Aye.
Have 2 ayes from Mary Standard and Ann Vincent. Those opposed, nay.
No.
Have 3 noes. So it's not added. With all the other, February 8th, board retreat minutes have been pulled. March 10th have been pulled. The executive session at the end has been pulled. Are there any other additions or changes?
Where would you like to consider the minutes?
Do what?
Where would you like to consider the minutes that were pulled? Just under new business last item, or?
Do you want to consider tonight, or do you want
Oh,
to?
no, tonight is fine, they're just simply additions or corrections. So
Okay.
I think that's whatever you decide is fine.
Under new business will be fine.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, do we have an agenda adoption then? All those in favor of adopting the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The agenda is adopted. Now we have a presentation to the council by the Tree City USA.
Some way we can turn an air conditioning on. People putting on extra carpet. Winter ski gear.
Please,
We're just cold.
please get a
Thank
microphone.
you.
We're just cold.
We'll get one.
Thank you.
Are you sure?
To accept a Tree City USA is very important to this community. One of the things that Montreat is well known for is the canopy that we live under. And a lot of times we may take it for granted, but the canopy provides us with clean air, clean water, protects the soil from erosion, provides wonderful habitat for all the critters we've got up here that we know and love, some more dear than others. And it just makes it a wonderful place, and without the canopy, Montreat would certainly not be the town that it is. So in doing this, we're very, very proud and very pleased that we've been chosen as a Tree City USA, along with the other, I think, 3,400 municipalities across the nation. And I think that covers some 140 million people that live in those municipalities. And I think we are the 29th in the state of North Carolina, if I remember. I did it, my homework this afternoon.
Well, I'm very pleased and excited that have received this designation from Tree City. Bill, I'm really sorry Bill Seaman was unable to be here tonight. He has been a driving force behind our receiving this designation from the Arbor Day Foundation and from the National Forest Service. I also want to thank Eric Muke for holding our hand all the way through and saying, well, this is what you need to do. You've already got that. He's been great. And Bill worked really strongly with Land Care and was able to get this up and running. Our town has done a fabulous job. Our town staff does a terrific job in keeping our tree canopy, especially in the rights-of-way, under control, trying to keep the trees from being hazards into the streets to help keep us driving safely on our questionably safety roads sometimes. One of the best things about the Tree City designation is it allows us to get more education for our town staff. We are working with Barry Kreisman. Hopefully he will be an on-staff arborist in about a year. We're really excited about that. It also will help us get funding for some small projects in hopefully getting a couple of parks set up. It will help us do tree replacements, and we are just really very pleased that we're going to add this to our arsenal of weapons to keep Montreat green and to keep it beautiful. We're also looking, I also wanted to read a couple things from some of our fellow Tree City communities. This is from Mike Kenton, who is chair of the Asheville Tree Commission. The Asheville Tree Commission congratulates Montreat on your new Tree City status. We look forward to hearing about the good work you're doing to honor the trees of your town. We hope you'll reach out to us, your sister city, if we can help in any way as you move forward with the important endeavors involved in being a tree city. Alicia Hulse, who is chair of the Weaverville Tree Board, writes, congratulations from your Weaverville neighbors on achieving the Tree City USA designation. Like Weaverville, Montreat is now both a tree city and a community wildlife habitat. We believe you will find that these programs go hand in hand to enhance the quality of life for people, as well as for other living things that share our mountain habitats. This will be especially true if your Tree City program encourages the planting of trees that are native to Western North Carolina. In going along with that, we have our Arbor Day celebration will be April 30th, which is the last Saturday and also the last day of the month, during our Land Care Native Plant Sale celebration that we'll be having, and we'll be talking a little bit more about that later. As a part of that, we're thrilled to have the North Carolina Forest Service as part of our Arbor Day celebration and also here tonight. So I want to introduce Shane Baker. I keep trying to promote him, so I have to look at my notes, who is the Assistant County Ranger for Buncombe County and part of the North Carolina Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services. And he is a local resident, and we're very thrilled to have him with us tonight.
Thank you for that excellent introduction. It is a very great pleasure to be here tonight, and it's also an honor. And I would, first of all, like to thank Eric for helping make this possible. He's, like it's been mentioned, he's been behind the scenes, working really hard, and he's here tonight in the back corner. I'd like to give him a round of applause. So again, it is a pleasure to be here today to celebrate Arbor Day and to present the town of Montreat with its 2015 Tree City USA Award. Montreat is now one of 85 cities and towns in North Carolina, one of over 3,400 in the nation to receive this award. Tree City USA began as a 1976 bicentennial project co-sponsored by the National Association of State Foresters and USDA Forest Service. The National League of Cities and the U.S. Conference of Mayors are now co-sponsors as well. The Tree City USA program is a partnership between the North Carolina Forest Service and the National Arbor Day Foundation. Awards are presented annually to cities and towns that demonstrate a commitment to making their communities more livable by planting and caring for trees. Montreat has met the 4 criteria for this award. 1, a public tree ordinance establishing policies for street and park trees. 2, a tree board and/or a city department responsible for the care and management of the community's trees. 3, a community forestry program with an annual expenditure of at least $2 per capita. And lastly, an annual Arbor Day observance and proclamation to celebrate trees and many benefits they provide. Today's celebration meets this requirement for next year's award. For a community forestry program to be effective, it takes support and commitment from the entire community. In Montreat, the community forestry program thrives because of the combined dedication of the tree board members, the city staff, elected officials, business community, homeowners, and all residents who take pride in improving the quality of life in Montreat through environmental stewardship. On behalf of the National Arbor Day Foundation and the North Carolina Forest Service, I am proud to present Montreat with its 2015 Tree City USA Award.
Shane, we thank you so much on behalf of the people of Montreat and the town of Montreat for presenting us with this award, and for all the advice and hard work you guys went through to help us get the award. And want to thank all those people who have served on the different committees. Countless hours have been put into doing different things in this community on behalf of trees and the tree committee and so forth. So we do appreciate them so much.
I just wanted to say, if anybody is here, I know there are a couple members of the Land Care Committee who are here. If you all would please stand. And I'd also like for the members of the Montreat Town Tree Board to please stand, both staff and community members. You guys are back there, come on.
I think that concludes the ceremony. Thank you so much. Appreciate you coming. I had, under my communication tonight, I had a couple of things. I wanted to thank the folks who, Ron, can we move this now? I can't see anybody.
It'll sit okay right down front. I mentioned it.
Thank you. For those of you who missed the April 4th ceremony up at the post office, we unveiled a sign that was designed by college students, Montreat College, that is now on display up at the post office. And it explains the beetle program that we've got going on right now to kill the woolly algae and to get rid of it and so forth, and the wonderful thing that it's doing. So if you get a chance, stop at the post office, and it's on the main drag. I can't even think of the main drag right now. Assembly Drive side of the post office. If you'll go and look at the Assembly Road side there, it's there. And the people who did that, the Hemlock Task Force, I'd like to recognize those folks. Rusty Frank's here. I saw Rusty. John Johnson, Joe Standard, and Philip Arnold. All those folks were on the committee, and we do appreciate all the hard work y'all did. Thank you for that. Got a lot of papers to shuffle up here tonight. The other thing that I wanted to do is, back in March, Ken Otto made a motion that asked me to appoint a committee, ad hoc bridge committee. And I wanted to announce the members of that committee, and Alice Lentz is chair of that committee. Dan Dean is the vice chair. Kent Otto serves on it. Lee Lancaster, Tyler Smith, Bob Cunningham, and Jan McCrae. And those are the members of that committee, and Alice has already been working with Ron and set up, I think, the first meeting on the 19th of this month at Town Services Office. And what time is that meeting that day, Ron? 2:30? 2:30, and it will be announced just like any of the other regular meetings. I think we mentioned last week that Stephen Stackhouse, our finance officer, has received an award, Certificate of Achievement, has been mailed to him, and I hope you've gotten that by now, Stephen, that tells that your Certificate of Award of Financial Reporting Achievement from the state of North Carolina. So Government Finance Office. Congratulations, Stephen. I think that's all I had under my communication tonight. Ron, you want to cover the consent agenda, please, sir?
Yes, sir, thank you. Tonight, under the consent agenda, the board adopted the March 3rd, 2016 public forum minutes, as well as the March 3rd, 2016 town council agenda meeting. As you heard, the March 10th and the February 8th minutes will be moved to the last item of new business. In keeping with Tree City USA, the board adopted resolution number 160401 designating April 30th, 2016 as Arbor Day in the town of Montreat. That's to coincide with our native plant sale, and Montreat Land Care has worked awful hard on that project, and we look forward to joining everybody in the community that day to celebrate land care and also Arbor Day. Just a few reports to update you on. Again, as the mayor said, we congratulate Steve Stackhouse on his certificate of achievement for excellence in financial reporting. I believe it's the fourth year, isn't that fourth year now that he's received the award. Angie has put some information in your packet concerning ICS, which is the Incident Command System Training. You wanna go over
This is the information that Chief Staggs talked about in the annual board retreat. This is one of his goals for you all, is to start the Incident Command System classes. And I've listed, there's 4 of them for your positions to take, and they're real easy to find. You go to the FEMA website. If you have any questions, just let me know. Once you're finished, I just need your certificate, and I'm not giving you a time limit right now to finish. But timely is important. So just let me know if you have any questions. One of them is basic that everyone will take, even like Ron and I will take it, and the other 3 are significant to all of your elected positions.
And just say a note about that, the reason that is important is because in order to receive federal reimbursements, the board as well as staff through an incident command system have to be trained in these basic requirements, basic classes. So that's why you get the certificate, that's why we keep it on file. We have to prove that y'all have been through that training. So again, it's important for everybody to make sure that you're up to date on those 4 classes. Also, a quick word, I talked with the town manager in Black Mountain. He has made a request to the town of Montreat to consider adding $50,000 to the Montreat Road Sidewalk project. He expressed interest because, again, it helps serve both the town of Black Mountain and Montreat to make that connection. We have already provided a connection down to the gate, and they are approximately 2 years, I believe he said, from completing their connection. They can move that time frame up if they have a little money to help them out. And so again, they're asking the town of Montreat to consider $50,000. So I'm looking for some guidance tonight from you to see if that's something you're interested in, or if you'd rather just wait till budget time to talk about it a little more. If you're not, I can just go ahead and tell them that we just wouldn't be interested at this time. So
Personally, I'd rather wait till budget time in June. We'll start working on the budget.
yeah, we'll actually start in May talking about those capital projects.
Yep. Next month.
Is that okay with? I see a few